Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have to take a ID badge photo today, so I figured I would just film it and turn it into a tutorial at the same time. Okay, so I brought you guys in closer, that way you can see all the details of what I'm doing, but I always start with my complexion, and if I look a little sweaty, please forgive me. There's literally a heat wave going on in Texas right now, and I am really going through it because I'm not built for the heat. Thankfully I'm moving in a few days, but yeah, in the meantime I just gotta deal with it. Okay, so I'm starting off with Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and I would normally go in with a primer, but I don't know if you can tell, but because I've been sweating and my moisturizer is really slick, I kind of don't need to like do a lot of prepping just because there's a lot of like moisture and slip on my face already. I used this pharmacy moisturizer that came in the Sephora birthday gift, so that is a really emollient moisturizer, and I don't really need to prime. So I'm just gonna blend this foundation in. Okay, now I'm going in with the Bobbi Brown corrector in the shade Peach. I always talk about this, you guys know I love it. I'm going to put this under my eyes. Now I'm going in with the Cover FX Power Play Concealer in the shade G Medium 1, and I'm going to just put a couple dots of this under each eye, and I'm going to spread it out and then wait for it to dry down a bit before I blend it. And in the meantime I'm going to do my brows, and I'm using the Kosas Air Brow Gel in the shade Black, and I'm going to kind of go a little extreme with the brows today because I don't have a brow pencil, which I would normally, use if I wanted my brows to look thicker on top of brow gel, but I'm just trying to use up this brow gel, and I don't want to buy anything new right now because I'm on my no-buy. It's also been a minute since I got my brows done, so that's why they're looking a little ragged, but I'm actually getting them done the day I fly out to move, so it'll be nice and fresh. But I'm also kind of panicking about finding a new brow lady because I don't trust anybody but my current brow lady. So it's gonna take a while, I think, before I even decide to get them done. Like my eyebrows are gonna basically have to be fully grown out before I'm like, okay, I need to go get them done. But yeah, speaking of moving, oh my god, it is literally so hot in my room. Speaking of moving, I am moving for the first time to live without my parents, so I'm a bit scared, but I'm really excited for the challenge and the independence and freedom that I will get. I am moving to a state with tons of family, so I won't be alone, but my immediate family won't be with me. So I'm moving with my sister, and we're going to be living together. So we've been looking for apartments virtually, and we have found several contenders. We've basically just been virtual apartment hunting, and we do have a realtor up there, so he's been helping us, FaceTiming us for the apartment viewings and stuff. So it's been really helpful, and we're gonna apply to an apartment tomorrow. So hopefully we get that one. If we don't, it's not a big deal because there are two more that we're looking at that are pretty similar. Well, there's actually one more that's pretty similar. The other one is in a different building, but we are fine with either one. Now I'm going in with the GRWM Cream Blush in the shade Opening Night. This is basically literally my everyday makeup tutorial, just a little bit different. I know it's so repetitive, but I just use the same makeup all the time because I really love it. And for this picture, I'm going to be applying a little extra blush because blush is one of the things that tend to get washed out in pictures. I've noticed that. And even on camera sometimes when I'm editing a video back and I'm like, looking at the footage, I feel like for some reason you can't see the blush that well. I think that's good for now, so I'm going to set my under eyes with powder. For powder, I'm using Laura Mercier Translucent Powder in Medium Honey, or Translucent Honey. And I dip it into the powder pot, and then I dip it into the palm of my hand to press the powder in and also get rid of any excess. And this provides like a really smooth finish under the eyes. And I also kind of pack it in this little area here because I tend to get really oily there. And again, I'm just going to blend out these creases. I kind of take whatever is left on the sponge and I set the area around my mouth, just very lightly though. And then in between the brows and right here on the forehead. Everywhere else doesn't have to be matte, like the cheeks and the sides of the forehead don't have to be matte because that's not what is like facing forward in the picture. And I'm gonna quickly just pop a little bit of primer potion on my lids. So yeah, I'm packing. My whole room is a disaster and I leave in just a few days. Okay, now I'm taking the e.l.f. Small Taper brush and I'm just gonna lightly buff this away. And I'm not actually like removing all the powder, I'm kind of just like moving it around so that it's not really obvious where it was sitting, if that makes sense. Blending the edges of the powder almost. Because I really want to keep most of this powder on here because it's going to keep me matte. And then I even just drag the brush around other areas of the face. Okay, now I'm going to bronze. I know this is a little bit out of order, but I do want to just bring some dimension into my face. I do kind of have like natural contours. And they do show up on camera, but right now I'm just using this for the purpose of like darkening certain areas. Like right here, I just feel like it looks really natural, like if the forehead is a little bit more tan, because that's how my skin is naturally. My forehead is usually like one shade darker than the rest of my face because it hits the sun. And then I'm gonna just take some bronzer on the tip of my nose and across my nose bridge. So again, Essence Befitting Blush. I don't even know what to tell you guys at this point. I just use the same makeup over and over again. And I'm only gonna put this like right up here where that powder was so that I can like connect the blush to my under eyes. I also like to put just a little bit on the tip of my chin and in the center of my forehead. Again, to just bring in all the colors from outside my face towards the inside. It's just going to look a little bit more natural. Now I'm taking the same bronzer. This is NARS Laguna bronzer, by the way. And I'm using the MOTD Seamless Sheer Blend. Any fluffy blending brush will do. So yeah, in terms of furniture, my sister and I are trying our best to buy everything secondhand. We really don't want to have to get anything brand new, other than a mattress. Obviously that has to be brand new. I will not use a secondhand mattress, I just won't. Pretty much everything else is going to be secondhand. We have a lot of family up there, as I said, so any furniture that they have been wanting to get rid of or that's just extra, they are going to be kindly donating to us, so that is great. And you know, Facebook Marketplace is also a really good resource to get things secondhand. Also, Nextdoor is great. So we are confident that we can furnish our whole apartment with secondhand furniture. The only other thing that we are not willing to really compromise on to get secondhand is dishes, because I just feel like that's a bit gross, but you know, everyone has their preferences and stuff that they won't buy secondhand, and for me, a mattress and dishes are just the two things that I just cannot buy secondhand. But everything else, yeah, don't see a problem. I do have a little bit of dry skin up here. It is like healing eczema basically, and it was actually worse on my graduation day, but I did not put any shimmer on my lid to disguise it. I probably should have, even though thankfully you can't really see it in my grad pics, but today I actually will use shimmer because I do want to disguise this, and shimmer is a really good way to disguise imperfections. Matte colors and matte shadows just make things show up a lot more. So I'm going to use the Mothership 5 palette. This is the Bronze Sublime, and I'm going to take the two matte shades and I'm going to blend them together. And I'm just going to put that in my crease. I'm still using the big fluffy brush, but I'm just going to basically only put it on the outer corner to give some definition there. I do have a vein up here, so it's going to look patchy. It's not patchy, it's just my vein showing through, but I don't really mind. I'm debating which shimmer I want to go in with, if I'm going to do the bronze shade right here or the more neutral, like kind of pewter shade. Honestly, I think I'm going to do the bronze one. I'm feeling a more coppery vibe right now. So I'm just dipping into that one. And I have such a huge dent in it, I can already feel like the dent in this color. And I'm just putting this on my lid. And I always do this with my shimmer shades, but I'm kind of like extending it up into the crease so that it like looks more diffused and blown out. And also it's going to disguise that little patch of dry skin. You probably can't even see it now. So I'm going to just take the fluffy blending brush and just lightly feather over the edges to blend anything that maybe my fingers didn't catch. Then I'm going to take my MAC 233 brush. This is just a flat shader brush, and I'm going to take this highlight shade right here, and I'm just applying this to the inner corner. And something I like to do with my highlighting shade is I kind of take whatever is left and I drag it into the lid, and then I also kind of like do this. So when you turn your head, you can kind of see this little punch of light right there, and I feel like it looks so cute. And I just feel like it adds something so slight, and you kind of can't even tell what it is really, but it really just livens up your eye look. I'm actually going to do it again. So yeah, that is the eyeshadow finished. I'm going to leave my lower lash line blank because I usually do, so it's like the most true to my look. And I actually really advise you to do that when you're doing like an ID picture or a graduation picture. Choose a look that is true to you, because I want to look like myself in my pictures. Also, I don't know if I said this, but I'm using the Essence Lash Princess Mascara, the one that comes in the green tube. And I'm not going to redip my brush, and I'm going to do my lower lashes, but just very slightly. The goal is not really to make them look longer or to make them stand out, it's just to give them a little bit of color so they don't like disappear into the rest of my face. And sometimes if I feel like I have too much mascara on my lower lashes, I literally just kind of pinch off the extra. And that way they still have a little bit of color, but they're not like standing out, if you know what I mean. Okay, I love how summery this look is coming out. I didn't even intend for it to be so summery, but I feel like with the pink cheek, the bronze eye, like it is just so summery. So I don't know if I want to continue in this direction and do like a summery lip, or if I want to do a nude lip. I feel like in a picture, a colored lip looks good. Like, you know, the illusion of blood rush to the cheeks and the lips. I think that is usually the most attractive look. So, well, scientifically the most attractive look. So I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to do the Rimmel liner in the shade Cocoa, and I'm going to line my lips. I'm not going to overline, just outline. Okay, so that is it for lip liner. I know this looks really dark, but the lip gloss we're putting on top is a lot lighter. I'm applying Dolly by Buxom. And I feel like these colors mix together so nicely. Okay guys, that is the finished look. I'm going to zoom you guys out so we can film the outro. I'm going to actually insert the picture in the end of the video here, or probably put it in the thumbnail so that you guys can see what it ended up looking like. That's it for this video, guys. It is so stinking hot in my room still, so I'm going to take this photo and then I'm going to make myself an ice cold coffee, because I just can't think of anything better to have right now, honestly. Like, that is just going to solve everything, at least for the day. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.